Alright, and here we go. So we've got Set and Set versus Ornos Isis on Midgard. Teal, Fox, Isis. Red, Carico, MG with Set. Blue, Rangers, Set. Green, T2, Ornos. So, Isis Ornos on the bottom side versus double Set. Immediately we see Vision being cast by Rangers and company here and here, so that now they have an idea where their fish are at. Okay. Okay, so just to refocus here. So again, with Fox being Isis, we see here that Fox is going for his fishing right here in the bottom side of the map. Over here, we see Tito with his first dock, with his fish, and we see here with Caracos, aka Carrot, which is his alternative nickname, setting up his fishing here, having used vision to really get an idea where his fishing is at, and he's also working on converting these walruses. Over here we see Ranger setting up his second dock, again having used vision at the top side of the map, and just really developing a strong fishing economy over here. You see him empowering his wood, and so we're probably going to see Rangers crank out a lot of ships here. Over here on the south side of the map, we see Fox with his second dock as well, and on Midgard, you tend to want to build your fish towards the corners of the map, here, 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 and here. And we see all four players really doing a good job of that thus far, making sure that their docks are built in prime locations where they're most likely to find their fish. So sometimes on Midgard you get fish screwed, meaning that it just doesn't work out that well in terms of where the map generates your fish. But thus far, the only player that's really disadvantaged thus far would be Green, I think. But otherwise the three Egyptian players are in really good shape. So over here with Rangers, setting up his gold collection. Same for Carrot. And Fox is starting to gather his gold as well. And with Tito, yeah, he just found his hunt here. So that's going to give him quite a bit of flexibility. Another big factor is the use of shifting sands. If both set players go shifting sands, I think that's something that we can expect to see momentarily in terms of a citizen being shifted. So we'll see what happens there. In the meantime, again, everybody's continuing their fish boom. And here's the second dock for Carrot in a really backward position. But I suppose he wants to just have control of the fish over here at the back. And so these walruses then are just doing a lot of damage to this priest. So we'll see if Fox ends up losing this priest to two walruses. So we see Tito building his temple right by his TC and proceeding to age up with Prometheus. He's 20%. Over here, Fox has yet to build his temple, so he's working on that now. Carrot is about halfway or more. And Rangers is also halfway to his temple. So again, this is normal for Egyptian players. Normally, Egyptian players age up a little bit later, but it's fine because just how the Civ works. So over here we see Tito, strong fish boom here with 9 fish. Right here Fox is really trying to strengthen his fishing position over here by building multiple docks, which will enable him to produce more ships later. Carrot is building forward as well, and we see Rangers picking up his docks as well. So again, this is normal for Egyptian players, building a good number of docks. Lots of good fish here in the backward position, so we might see Carrot go for that as well later on. Okay, so Tito just finished aging up a moment ago. We have 30% Bast for Fox, 61% Patha, and 60% over here for Rangers. So the Egyptian players are going to age up right around 5:45, 6 minutes. Again, normal gameplay, and so we're going to see how this proceeds to go from here. We see Tito producing some warships right away. So we'll see if he can get any damage done in terms of pushing. So we see Carrot moving a whole bunch of units forward over here. I think what he was trying to do was use shifting sands to snipe some villagers, but that's not working, and he ends up losing a walrus to the tower here, so that's not good news. In the meantime, Rangers is pushing Tito back, and there's this shifting sands use, so 3 villagers getting shifted right there. Yeah. So Fox appears to be in a little bit of trouble in terms of having lost quite a bit of gold production right there, and having to move all these villagers around, trying to avoid getting shifted or losing villagers unnecessarily. And over here we see green just being pushed all the way back by Rangers. Now, interestingly enough, Tito is not producing ships, but has shifted to land already. And Fox hasn't produced any ships either, neither has Red, so it would appear that they're just going straight heroic. And there you go, 3% for Carrot, and with Prosperity being used and no villagers being produced, there's the button right here. So there's the fast heroic by them. In the meantime, here's Tito as the Ornals player, just pushing forward against Rangers. We'll see if he's able to raid, but at the very least he gets to snipe a priest right here. And right here we see Rangers sniping a whole bunch of boats. So for all intents and purposes, I think it's safe to say that Tito has lost water at this point in time. In the meantime, looks like Green was able to snipe 3 villagers or so over here. So by the same token that Tito is losing position on water, he also lost some position on land. So I'm just trying to understand what happened here. From what I can see, Carrot shifted some villagers and then used ancestors, and then Fox proceeded to use ancestors and Eclipse as well. But because of TC Fire and Priest, Carrot was able to respond by just sniping the ancestors. So at the end of the day, that did not work out that well for Fox. At the same time, he still does have Eclipse for this Scorpion Man. and it's just killing off all these animals. And this is huge right here. If you can, one of the things about Midgard is map control right here, and as I says, what's going on right here is pretty critical. Securing the Forward Gold Mine, securing a Migdol, securing a seed shop, and just giving yourself strong position. Same thing for Carrot here with his Migdol by Forward Gold. And there's Rangers aging up right there. So it's going to be interesting to see if Rangers decides to go pre-siege, or if he's just going to do chariots or camels against the Ornos army. Shockwave being used right here, and it would appear that I missed what was going on in the background in terms of economy. So Tito has some idle army here, but he's been able to pick up his 3 TCs right around 11 minutes, which means that he's going to have a really strong economy, and he has a bunch of upgrades as well. So we'll see how he's able to continue producing. And on water, they seem to have lost water completely. So this gives the team here a little bit less flexibility, but I don't, with the exception of this TC, or maybe that TC, I don't think the TCs are close enough to water to be sniped by siege. So it would appear that Dodd is just focusing on land now. Over here we see a push, and again, just sniping a whole bunch of animals. So I don't think Rangers is in good enough position to be fighting on land just yet. And over here we see a lot of action here. So it looks like both players are making elephants and priest and siege, and just units flying all over the place. Also critical is Fox has his myth units available to him, and here we see Eclipse, or not Eclipse, sorry, but Ancestors being cast. We also see Rangers just picking up his second TC moments ago. So with Ancestors used here, it looks like Fox has to back up because of Carrot's defense. Another thing that's huge right here is Carrot having crenellations researched, and that really helps in terms of countering elephants in a push like that. Here we have Tito coming into play, so we have just a quick double team. And we see Carrot going for the forward Migdol. But at the same time, Tito has figured out that Rangers is potentially going to try push with his army on the other side of the map. And Fox has had to back up as Tito rushes back, and he just ran into a Migdol being built forward. Fox has his second TC built as well now, and interestingly enough, he's shooting down a lumber camp over here, which is amusing. And it would appear that my cat's getting excited. And I just need a moment here. Alright, so now I can refocus on what's going on here. So the two Egyptian players here appear to be standing their ground, and over here you would have seen Tito, which is some nice defense, throwing in his medium infantry, throwing in his medium catapultes, and just really countering the elephants and siege towers. And that's another huge kill right there, sniping the elephant. Right here was another raid in the back, sniping a couple villagers. And we see here that this Migdol did get built. Alright, now, coming on this side of the map, Isis versus Set. So this is normal right here in terms of siege towers plus chariots. And that's another huge score for Fox, that he has his third TC as well. So right now, MG is just a little bit behind in terms of macro. Yes, Carrot is building his second TC, but Dodd, particularly with Tito, has had his third TC for quite some time now. So the additional TCs, the additional population space, just a lot more flexibility. And Tito's just doing a nice job, just using his infantry to defend with the catapultus. And over here we just see some Norse sniping, and there we go. Now that with the Ornos player in heroic, we'll see him spamming better units, especially if destroyers can enter the equation. I'm just gonna have a quick peek at the kill ratio. You'll see that Rangers has made quite a few units. Carrot hasn't killed that many units, and yeah, everybody has killed fewer units, and they have made. Yeah. So here we have the Dryads. There's the forward palace, and Tito might need to research crenellations to give him more flexibility in countering the elephants. Over here, with all that activity going on, Fox used his chariots to do some raiding, and in so doing, now he's just a little bit vulnerable right here. And he loses his forward Migdol. So Tito is just pushing back against Rangers, but Fox appears to be going for position over here in the middle of the map. And again, it's critical the fact that DoD is sitting on 3 TCs, and Rangers and Carrot only have 2 TCs right now. I think that's pretty critical at this stage in the game. 18 minutes, the ability to have an advantage in score, the advantage in population, the ability to produce more, the ability to sustain full pop, to have more upgrades, and especially here when you talk about going for Arcus and Destroyers. Arcus and Destroyers being really, really hard to counter for Egyptian players at this stage in the game. And right here, Fox was able to get his Migdol built. So we see some combined pressure here. Red has a small army here, but it looks like Fox is looking to help double team Rangers here. Now that's huge though. Carrot being able to go mythic. So we'll see if he's able to use Meteor Shower. And there's the third TC, or the second TC still. These TCs are still sitting there, being unbuilt. There's a forward Migdol. So the Ornos player is just going for map control, pushing here, using his destroyers to snipe these Migdols. He's got heavy infantry, he's got some armory upgrades. He's just in really strong position here. Looks like Fox might lose this. Or not. Meteor shower being cast on Fox's base. Which does set Fox a bit back in terms of having to rebuild all those farms. And using range siege here, that's a huge advantage in terms of being in Mythic. Tito's pushing really hard as well. And so we see Mercs being spammed here as well. And there it is, Fox being in Mythic now. There's the fortified TC. He had to switch TCs on that upgrade for fear of losing that TC. And there it is. So Carrot's just making a huge push into the base here. And just with elephants and siege, just wreaking a lot of havoc, sniping a whole bunch of buildings. But we see meteor shower being used on Ranger's base, and it does appear to have done some damage, but not that much. Carrot has Valley of the Kings, so he's able to just really speed up his speed at which he's cranking his units. And Fox still has not researched crenellations, which I think is a huge faux pas. You really need crenellations to counter elephants. And he's pulling out all the stops. Looks like he's trying to make a ton of anti-cav units. So Tito could just as easily vortex in here. So we'll see how that gets used. But here you have finally Rangers and Carrot picking up their third TCs after being behind in terms of TCs for the longest time. And so Fox is just really solidifying his base. In the meantime, Tito is just pushing. He's got his armory upgrades. He's got a bunch of stuff in an attempt to counter all these elephants. So Tito's just doing a good job over here. And now he's got champion infantry upgrade. And these four archers are just sniping all these villagers. Nice. And right here, just working on sniping all that. stuff. Funny stuff. That's a disadvantage though for Fox right now, not having these armory upgrades researched, and we see him having difficulty just keeping his houses built. So population again is another critical factor in a situation like this. So Fox appears to have survived this whole push. Which is well done. And knowing that Archer Fire is more powerful against an unbuilt building, he appears to be working on just really sniping this building down. And he's got champion chariots as well, so just sniping away all these villagers. Yeah. So chariots and spearmen just really countering all this stuff. Now, Fox appears to have paused the game. Not sure why. I'm gonna message him, see what's up. And yeah, he's in Do Not Disturb, so, and I can't see their chat messages, so not really sure what's going on. But while the game's paused, let's just quickly double check their tech. So Tito has his upgrades in order. Rangers is behind in terms of wood gathering, but maybe that's not important to him right now if he's making elephants, but I do see some chariots there. So Carrot is doing good in terms of upgrades. Fox has his upgrades. That's a huge one right here. Book of Thought. So the players have their upgrades in terms of economy. Carrot has some armory upgrades. Carrot definitely has more armory upgrades, but Fox has champion chariots here. Tito has a bunch of armory ups, more ups than Rangers. So I would give the edge to Dodd at this stage overall in terms of upgrades. And we see just here the massive push. Max upgrades on Pierce armor. Like, these destroyers are going to be really hard to kill with all that armor over there. And there goes the Migdal. So Fox is just pushing out with his stuff and just cleaning house. And speaking of cleaning house, these destroyers are just doing a lot of work. But there's Rangers getting to Mythic, and we're going to see if he's, now that he can start getting some better upgrades, if this will make a bit of a difference against Oranos. Now, another thing that I think is pretty significant is trade route. I think that Tito, for example, with 153 gold per trade, and Fox with 76 is doing better with than the 75 that Rangers is getting and the 54 that Carrot is getting. In particular, I think that's a huge disadvantage for Carrot to only be getting 54 gold per cart as Egyptian. And here we see the double team. Because I think with all this trade here, I think Dodge sees blood, knowing that if they can really push here, this would be the game. And there's a meteor shower used in defense in an attempt to buy a bunch of time. Oh, that's a huge shot right there. And it did do its job in terms of sniping a whole bunch of units, but we'll see if that's simply postponing the inevitable here. Yeah, and it looks like that McDowell might go up. It does, but just immediately gets picked off by the fire siphon. So Fox just picked off Boiling Pitch, and now his chariots are even stronger. So I think Dodd looks really good right now. They've got map control. I think they have the technological advantage. And I think what would really be good is if Tito is able to go for a Titan Gate. I think that would be a huge advantage. And right here, Fox just broke through the wall, and now we'll be able to snipe a whole bunch of trade. Finally, he has crenellations, so these elephants are just that much less effective. Somebody just sent me 6 nudges. Funny stuff. Now that's an interesting upgrade right here. Getting armor for your siege with Helios. That's just a really nice tech. And so we see here the push for the TC. Just pushing in here for map control, using towers with crenellations to target the elephants, and just a whole bunch of damage here, just really cutting off the trade. And we see Rangers, he's unable to continue repairing. If I were to nail a quick peek at gold, yeah, all 4 players are really short on gold except for Fox right now. So yeah, this is just a lot of trouble here. And if he can get that fire siphon to stop that TC in a moment, that's going to be huge. But Carrot is fighting back here with his elephants again. And that's huge right here. So as it turns out, that TC is indeed in range for siege. Now it looks like Tito does have his armory upgrades in order as well, which is just a huge advantage right here. And there's the champion spearman. So, and crenellations and ballista tower. Like these elephants, man, are getting countered hard. Yeah. Fox might do well to try to snipe the TC. But those destroyers right there are just doing a whole bunch of work. What a push. However, this is an issue right here. But Fox is in the process of countering it, making hammer ships to counter the siege. That's tremendous here. With all these towers, and just really nice play. Taking advantage of having all of these upgrades. Yeah, this is why you really want army upgrades, like getting max Pierce armor and just really negating the effect. Alright, so to continue, just more pushing. Tito is trying to give it everything he's got. He's got his champion Arcus, he's got his armory upgrades, champion infantry. He's bringing out his siege, just trying to do everything he can. And same thing with Fox, just towers, spearmen, siege. If he can use the siege here to target the TC, that would be huge. And there's the TC being rebuilt at the back. Now, interestingly enough, Carrot counters with war turtles over here. That really is interesting. And there's the TC being sniped by siege. Tito does not appear to have crenellations, but maybe he just doesn't need it. And there's the push for this TC over here. This just might be the game right here. By destroying these TCs and essentially cutting MG in half, that might be the trick. And there's the killer instinct of Fox. If he can get this Migdal, that'd be huge. Now at the same time, what I was mentioning earlier, vulnerability from water. Again, Rangers is trying to snipe a TC, but they resign, knowing that they've lost in terms of map control. They've been sawn asunder right in the middle. So, what a game that was. Bottom line, you're looking at a 38-minute, 24-second war on Midgard. I think everybody did really well, and Carrot, Carrot is talking about being fatigued, and yeah, it is true. Fox did have pretty nice fish at the beginning of the game. So, well played. Really well played. So, I'm just going to rejoin via